Black cat, 9 life short days, long nights, living on the edge, not afraid to die. I kind of like fucked up a little bit. But welcome back to Bitch I Ain't Scared, kids.
Why'd you stop? Keep going.
I don't got time to sing the whole damn thing.
That was the jam. I never heard that. What was that?
Janet Jackson.
Oh, I wouldn't have.
Black cat.
Oh, now I know the song now. Yeah, you... Okay.
Happy Friday the 13th. It's one of those sacred days that only happen a couple times a year.
Yeah.
And this year, it's in October.
I know. I love when it's in October. It just makes it more festive.
I don't know if it's happened recently. I mean, within the last, I don't know, decade.
Oh, we can look it up if you want to know.
The last time I remember it happening was when I was a kid. It was October. So Friday the 13th, October 2000. And that was such a weird thing because so many things were happening that night. It's like October, it's the sacred month of Halloween. And then Friday the 13th. And then the year 2000. It's like, oh my God, we're in the new millennium. And it was a full moon.
Yeah.
That shit is never going to happen again. I mean, it will, but, you know, I'll be dead for like 5 centuries. So, fun story. I'm just going to jump right in. That night, we went out to a Halloween, like, fun house. And in Indiana, you know, it's like we were living in the city, but pretty much all the fun houses were, like, on the outskirts of town.
Yeah.
And we had such a good time in that fun house. Now, that was the first time I ever went to one of those places where they electrocute you. You know, like when they have, like, those electrocution things.
Okay.
Like, there was a woman, she's like, I'm getting electrocuted, and everything. Like, they made us hold hands, and it was like, my sister was like, I don't want to grip the bar. She's like, no, I'm not going to grip the fucking bar. And they're like, and she's like, grip the bar. And it's like, no, I don't want to do this. We know what it feels like. We don't want to get shocked. But they wouldn't let us move on until they did it. So my sister gripped the bar, and then, you know, it surged through all of us, and it fucking hurt our wrists. But we still had fun. And we got into this elevator, it was pitch black, and our friend Brandon is like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. And then this voice says, don't do that in here. And we didn't know the guy had gotten in the elevator with us, and he's like guiding us down. It was great. And then afterwards, I don't know why, I got my hand on some caffeine pills. Not great.
Yeah.
Because then I was just like out of my mind, and I was howling at the moon. But it was fun.
Do you celebrate Friday the 13th? Like, is it something you pay attention to, do something weird or different or traditional?
No, not really. I think I always got excited when I was a kid. Everyone is very superstitious about it. And I don't know. It's not a scary thing to me. Like, I just read on the Wikipedia. It was really interesting stuff. Apparently, between 17 and 21 million people are afraid of Friday the 13th. That's a lot of people to be afraid of a day or a number. And I don't know. I always thought it was cool. It was like, oh, it's a little holiday. I did get dumped on Friday the 13th once.
Aww.
That sucked. It was the day before Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
I got dumped. And then my sister and I watched A Thin Line Between Love and Hate that day. So, made up for it. But, I don't know. I didn't really do anything. I'm just like, oh, it's cool. I don't think I'm afraid of the day, though. There's no reason to be. So, since it's like a very superstitious thing, I'll just say I don't think I'm super superstitious. That sounds really funny.
Superstition.
Writings on the wall. Are you superstitious at all?
Yes.
Really?
I am, but it's not to the extreme. I mean, my parents and, you know, cousins, you know, we were told superstitions, and it was just fun to follow the rules.
Mm-hmm.
So we did that, and then as I got older, friends started to implement these rules into my life, and it was like, you can't do this, and then so it was just predominant growing up.
Okay.
But now I don't pay attention to it. But here's the thing: how many times do I come at you with some Final Destination theories? Like, I will forever believe in that shit. I don't care what anybody says. That movie is from true stories. That director knows what he's talking about. Something happened. You can't explain it. That's where so it follows under that same sort of superstition thing.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a couple of stuff that I grew up with, and you know, as far as like the day, I did grow up thinking that bad shit would happen.
Really?
Yeah, I do remember one specific year where I stayed home. I was like, I'm not leaving the house. And because just doing normal routine stuff, like stuff bad would happen to all of that. So I was like, I'm not leaving. And it was just that 1 year, but I was like, I'm not doing it. After a while, it was just like, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
I still uphold a couple superstitions. I know that they're superstitions, but I still do them anyway. I don't know. If you're ever out and about with me, you might see me do this, but bread and butter.
No.
Splitting the pole.
Oh, well, yes. I mean, that was one of the ones I was going to bring up.
I say it in my head. I don't say it out loud because then people will be like, what the fuck are you doing? And I remember I even got in trouble once because someone was like, what about me? You didn't do it for me. I'm like, no, when I hit the pole, it's for both of us. It's fine. What's the problem? I don't know what rules you're following, but so I do that. I try not to do it. I try not to split the pole, but if I do, I'm like, whatever it is, I gotta tap it.
That was probably the most death-defying one that brought more like consequence. I don't think there's ever been any other superstition that was told to me where people really thought some, heavy shit was gonna happen. And like some of the other ones that I'll mention a little later, but like that one in particular, it fell more on the lines of the relationship would be broken. It wasn't like you're gonna die or get hurt or some bad luck or whatever. It was just, if you split it, that means you'll be split in life. That's all I've got. And so I took that very seriously, and I would have to go around and back again and all that stuff. Like my friends, loved ones, like they all made us do it, and we all were very cognizant of it. There was times when there was 3 of us, and it would like, because I have anxiety, so like I'll get into my head, and I was like, if there's 3 of us, what does that mean? Is it just him? Is it the both of us? Like, who gets split apart? I don't get it. What's happening? And so I was like, just nobody do it. And then it was like, it does have to be a pole taller than us. Can it be one of those little steppy ones that, just dividers? Do those count? Like, it got heavy. And it's been done before lately, and it's just in the back of my head, but I don't make a big deal out of it anymore. Mm. But I do watch people do it, and it will always pop in my head like, not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
So.
I also do the salt thing.
Yes, I don't do the salt thing. I'm just aware of it. Mm-hmm. If I'm alone, I get freaked out for like maybe a millisecond. I'm like, oh God.
No, I'll do it. I mean, even if I'm not the one that spills it, I'll just do it.
Okay.
Because, someone else spills it. They don't believe in that shit. And it's not even that I believe in it. It's just one of those things that I do.
So that's the thing.
I'm not afraid of it.
Why do we do it then? Where does that come from?
I think my grandma did it. I think my grandma did that. So, I don't know. It's like you spill the salt, and it's like, oh, I just take, a little bit, and I just throw it on my shoulder.
Yeah.
I don't know. And it's kind of like, hey, good luck. Sometimes, if you're on Tumblr, there's all these things that come by, and it's like, if you share this, Money Cat will give you money. I'm like, sure, why the fuck not? I'm going to share this. And that's kind of like feeding into a superstition, but I don't really think it's going to hurt me. I don't think that I ever forgot to throw salt over my shoulder and then something bad happened to me. That's not something I can recall.
Yeah.
But even looking at, going back to the Wikipedia page, apparently there's like an increase in accidents. And I think that's because people are full of anxiety. They're so freaked out by the day that they can't concentrate. So then they get into a car accident or they slip up. They're nervous.
Didn't it also mention something about that day always having the worst sort of economy for the day? Like, tons of businesses just lose tons of money on that specific day because nobody leaves their home or something.
I didn't read that, but that probably makes sense.
Yeah,
it's
they
people don't
mentioned
wanna go
something
out.
like they just don't make money for that day when that day comes around. So, folks, if you are listening, this is our bonus episode. We surprised you. I bet you we got you. We decided to put an episode out for Friday the 13th. We're not going to be one of those podcasts that just focuses solely on the franchise, even though this is a horror podcast. But just thinking about Friday the 13th in itself, the name became a popular phrase for a title of a franchise because of what the background of the day is. And there's a reason for that. And I think that on top of that, there are tons of other superstitions and omens and things that we follow that I think is fun to talk about and bring up today. One thing that I will tell you that I don't even have a reason for doing this, and I think it's just something that I made up, but maybe you think about it too. If I have some kind of like good news possibly coming up, I won't mention it to anyone because I feel that if I do, I'm either ahead of myself or I'm bragging about it or I just don't deserve it or I'm just too cocky and it won't happen. And if it doesn't happen, I literally blame it on that because I talked about it. And so I always keep shit to myself. Is that a thing? Or am I just crazy?
That's a thing. That's a thing for a lot of people.
Okay, I don't remember anybody else ever mentioning that to me, so I thought it was a thing that I did, but I just don't do it.
Now think about it this way. When people are trying to conceive a child, they don't talk about it. Mm-hmm. Because, and people use that as an example. It's like, well, don't, tell anybody you're pregnant until you're pregnant. It's like, I'm not going to talk about it because something might happen. I might have some complications and then I'll lose the baby. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, I was telling people 3 weeks ago, I'm so excited. I'm pregnant. I'm 3 weeks pregnant. I'm 3 weeks pregnant, bitch. Talk to me in 3 months, okay? When I feel a little more secure. I don't want to tell you my business. Yeah. It's the same thing with auditions. I don't tell people when I have auditions. I don't tell people I'm going to the studio. It's like, no. Because then people are like, what are you doing? Did you get it? And then they're asking all the time. It's like, no, I didn't get it.
Yeah.
No.
I know, exactly.
Did you get the call back? No, I didn't get it.
But I think there's something about just being all ahead of yourself doing that. I mean, it's good to feel confident, but it's just, for some reason, I think it just brings a jinx or bad omen to it when you talk about it. So I'm not the only one. And that's good.
Trying to keep it real. It's just more anxiety. It's like, then you plant that seed within yourself, like, oh my God, I talked about it.
Yeah.
Now it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And then you just, you psych yourself out. So, I don't know. I straddle the line of being really superstitious and not being superstitious at all because, and the reason I say that, Friday the 13th is not universal.
Yeah, it's only our Western sort of thing. It's just a West thing.
Like, I didn't know, and I just read Tuesday the 13th is the unlucky day in Spanish-speaking countries. It seems so random. Like, it's not even like the middle of the week. It's like the second day of the week. I'm like,
Tuesday is my favorite day of the week.
This is not
that's
scary.
when stuff gets released.
Mm-hmm. Or, I think maybe in Korea, 6 might be like the scary number, and then China, Taiwan is 4. Did you ever see the episode of Fresh Off the Boat? Did you see that show?
I probably did see that episode.
So where the mom, she's a realtor and she gets her first check and it's like $4,444 and she's like, no, I cannot take this. I can't cash it. And everyone's like, honey, no, it's fine. They talk her into like cashing the check. She's like, okay, I'm just being superstitious. But then like bad shit starts happening. She's like, I told you. 4. It was like 4 4s and it's like, oh, she's like, no. So we put emphasis on these things, but they're harmless.
Just think about like the number 13 in itself. I mean, people even find that to be like this bad thing, how like there's not one building that has only 13 floors. It never stops at 13. There's always more or less.
And some buildings won't even put like in the elevator, they won't even put 13.
Exactly.
They'll skip it.
And then, yeah, there's that Afraid of the Dark episode, Tale of the 13th Floor.
Oh, I remember that one.
Yup. So, I mean, it's obviously a very, popularized thing. Where do you think that Unlucky 13 comes from, though? I've never heard anything about, like, the actual 13 being, like, a bad thing, but...
I don't know. And I mean, even like you had mentioned earlier about the crucifixion of Jesus. Mm-hmm. Now, does that have something to do with the Last Supper?
Yeah, the Last Supper. Yeah, there was 13 people sitting there, and I think because nobody said he was gonna. I can't remember, but yeah, I think it has something to do with that, where 13 just became this like bad thing.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not Christian, so
yeah,
I'm not afraid.
So when I was younger, I used to have this thing about when people in school would write down their name plus somebody else's name, put a heart around it or whatever, and just like, or write it on a tree, or just initial stuff in their notebook. Yeah. I always thought that was also a jinxy thing. Like, you go ahead and do that and you all break up. That's just, I never did that stuff. And when somebody would do it, I'd be like, you got to tear that shit up, because you're just putting bad luck on our relationship. Like, I'm not doing it. I don't know. That was just something I did. Now, I don't think that way now, but like when I was younger, I used to be really adamant about that.
Wow, Rob.
I know.
I told you superstitions.
I did.
Oh,
and then, of course, there was like those stupid funny ones about like stepping on the crack and stepping on the line, and then your mom and dad would get all fucked up.
I did used to get scared. I was like, I don't want my mom to break her back.
I know.
Oh my God. It's like you could like walk into the mall and they have those tiny tiles. I'm like, I can't walk anywhere. My feet are too big.
Yeah. So nothing bad happened to you on Friday the 13th ever that you can remember?
Besides getting dumped.
Yeah, just that.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't remember anything ever really happening to me on that day. I mean, I would always be just very cognitive of like what's going on around me, but I don't think nothing really happened to me on that day.
I think in high school one day at lunch, like I ended up wearing some of my lunch because like I opened something and it like just exploded all over me.
Yeah.
It was like my apple juice or something. I don't know. And I was like, must be Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
No, it's just that there was a lot of pressure in the cup. I don't know what happened. Yeah. But no, I think I've been okay. It was just another Friday.
So would you say like overall, do you believe in sort of this whole Friday the 13th thing? Like stuff happens on that day, or
no?
Or do you keep your mind open? Like,
it's funny. I think I have an open mind about a lot of things, but Friday the 13th is not something that scares me. Mm-hmm. I don't think that bad things happen just because it's Friday the 13th.
Okay.
But that reminds me because, so I don't know, where is it the line between superstition and phobia? By the way, fun fact for those of you who didn't know like me, triskaidekaphobia is the fear of Friday the 13th.
I was going to bring that up. There was no way I was going to try and say that word. So.
I like saying words.
I know.
Sound
but
it out.
I saw that.
But yeah, phobias and superstitions. You know, I mean, I have phobias, but what's the difference between a superstition? Because I'm not afraid of the superstitions that I participate in. I just do them. I don't know. It's like tradition.
Yeah.
Spill the salt. Throw it over. Oh, yeah. One thing. Who the fuck came up with don't walk under a ladder? Yeah, no shit.
Oh, God. The ladder thing.
It's not bad luck. It's just common sense. Don't walk under a damn ladder.
I've never been in a situation to do that, but I still haven't done it. I don't do it. It's just why? Why would you even do it? Why? No, what? What are you thinking?
I don't want to walk under a ladder.
Okay, I was
just thinking, and I shouldn't say it on the show because then someone will steal my idea. Never mind. I'll tell you later, Rob. Just remind me.
Secret. Okay, well then, like, what about the mirror thing? Do you believe in that?
The mirror thing? What mirror thing?
We'll break a mirror in 7 years bad luck.
Oh, right.
I actually broke a mirror.
I broke a mirror too, but no. So no, I don't believe in it. I tested the theory.
I blamed my poverty on breaking that mirror.
Oh.
Well, 7 years is a long time, and so I'm just like, if I'll just blame it on that, because this is not my doing. I did not choose this, but yeah.
No, I was just more concerned about not getting cut when I cleaned up the glass. But yeah, no. Black cats, I love black cats. I enjoy when they cross my path.
That shit happened to me on the freeway.
Okay, well, I wouldn't want one to cross my path on the freeway.
Well, it happened to me, and it freaked me out for a while. Obviously until we got off the freeway, but it did happen, and I was a little bit terrified, because obviously I was younger. I believed in a lot of stuff, so yeah.
No, I mean, then it's like, oh my God, I'm going to run over the damn cat. Do I swerve and hit somebody?
Yeah.
That's why I don't want any animals on the freeway. That's just my personal deal.
So what about the good omens then? Do you believe in any of those?
Give me an example.
So like rabbit's foot, four-leaf clovers.
I don't know. I think, I probably do have my own talismans. Rabbit's feet, no. It's kind of gross.
Well, that's
carrying
somebody
around
else's
this little dead corpse foot.
But yeah, some people have like a lucky shirt, or like I had this pin when this happened. Oh God, I can't even begin to talk about rituals with football players and like the people who watch them. Oh, I have to wear this shirt, and we have to sit in this rotation. And
everyone has those. I mean,
I know
actors have a lot of rituals too, pre-show. The only thing I have that I can think of off the top of my head is a rosary.
Oh, okay.
And it's my birthstone, aquamarine, and it's silver. So it has all the little beads are like translucent blue. And my great grandmother gave it to me, and I would take it anywhere if I traveled. Like if I went out of the country, if I went out of state, I would take it. Took it to school with me. I took it on a cruise once, and somehow I left it in the damn cabin. I don't know how I did that. I was devastated, because I know that was the last thing she gave to me. And before I moved here, my sister and my friend Brittany, who I was living with, my sister saw one in a shop, and it was the same. It was the exact same. So they both put their money in together, and they got it for me. So that one I will wear sometimes, to like give me good luck or make me feel better. Yeah, it's my only one.
Oh, well,
protects me.
I don't think I ever had any of those lucky things. I mean, I don't know. No, I don't think I did. I'm trying to think. Like sometimes I would receive a gift from somebody, and I may think it's like good luck, or it will just bring me happiness if I kept it. And so sometimes I would have things that I would never get rid of, and I would just always have close to me. But no, I never really got into that whole part of superstition in that aspect.
Yeah. I think that when someone presents me with something, like if I'm nervous and they say, here, this is for good luck, that does have some power. Even though it's like a mental thing, when someone gives me a gift to boost my energy, to make me feel more confident, it helps. Yeah. It definitely helps. It's like, yeah, this is magical. I have this thing on me, or I'm putting it in my pocket. Yes. I believe in that stuff. I guess I believe in the good more than the bad. And maybe that's me trying not to be a negative person, because lots of people always say I'm negative.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys. But yeah, I don't want to put too much stock in bad energy, because there's already enough bad energy in the world.
Well, that's another thing. So, like, what about karma? I actually believe in karma. I couldn't prove it to you, but I just feel that there's this pay-it-forward mystical thing happening.
I don't think I believe in karma.
No?
No, because bad things happen. Really bad things happen to people who don't deserve it. And then we have a fucking moron in the White House right now, so karma should have paid the bill by now.
Yeah.
I think that, me personally, I have a lot of instances where I'm like, it's gonna catch up to me, and I don't think it really has. Or I've like, and I don't do good things just to do good things, but it's like that hasn't quite caught up with me either. So I don't think I believe in karma.
Okay, no, that makes sense.
I'm just living life.
I couldn't really give you a reason why I do. I think it's just, I guess, another word for hope, or to make myself feel good about some of the good things that I've done for people. I mean, the act itself, yes, very cool. But yeah, sometimes, you know, things happen to good people, and it's just like, I don't know, there's either some balance that's going to happen, like this horrible thing has happened, so that means something good's going to happen someday. Or again, the whole karma vibe, hold a door open for somebody, you may find a dime on the floor, who knows? So I mean,
That's right. Penny face up.
What is
I do love
that?
finding those.
Oh my god, those
I do enjoy finding a penny face up.
and it's only pennies, right? Like, or is it just a coin in general?
For me, I don't know why it's only pennies.
I know.
I guess
it's to
'cause
keep them in circulation.
they're
That's what they
just-
do. Because
they're
we wouldn't be
useless.
having them if that wasn't alive.
fucking pennies. Yeah, I don't know why, man.
I did that penny thing.
And I will pass it up if it's paced down. I will pass it up.
I did. Yeah, I did do the penny thing. I did look out for that. So, did you do the like quarter in a well? Or fountain?
Not a quarter in a well, but yeah, any coins. I'll make a wish at a well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's our time down here. I can't help it. I love that. It's our time.
These are somebody's wishes.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, this one's my wish. Was that really his coin? Really?
It
I
wasn't.
mean, yeah, he was like all about it.
Metaphorically speaking. When I was a kid, though, I was like, wow, it's his coin.
I know. Wow,
It's
you
his. How
found
do you
it.
do that?
There were a couple of movies where they did stuff like that. They weren't horror movies, but I mean, obviously people have made money off these superstitions that are either real or not. But did you ever watch Chain Letter?
Yeah, and it was an interesting concept, but it was
loved
disappointing.
the ending so much.
That was so brutal. I mean,
So
it was
much,
like,
but
so
just-
connecting it to the beginning, I was like,
Exactly.
oh, yeah.
That was
Didn't
awesome.
see that coming.
But yeah, the movie was very typical for sure. But I mean, but that's
Well, and I think it fell apart halfway through because at first it was like, if they don't send it,
but then they just came after you.
but then it was like he made it impossible. Where it was like the one kid, it was like he would not relent, and it was like he had to keep sending it, and then he would not leave him alone until he got the chance. And then the one girl, they didn't even show her not sending it, but then it's like after she was murdered, the girl is recalling this moment where she's like, delete. It's like, oh, okay. So we're
Yeah.
just gonna throw that bullshit in there. So yeah, it wasn't great. I mean, it was just. Was that a WWE movie?
no, I don't think so.
Okay,
I don't
'cause
remember it. Being
I know it was.
one.
What was his name? Michael J. Pagan from that movie. I think he
Yeah.
wrote it.
Probably.
I think so.
Did you do the chain letter thing? Because here's the thing: a lot of people don't believe in them, but they'll surely get pissed off when one is sent because there's that thought in the back of their mind: is do I send this or not? You know?
Yeah. So now I don't care. And, you know,
I mean, it's just kind of
I think when I was a teenager, I was like, "Fuck! Now I got to send this to my friends." But we all got it. We all understood. But now, no. Especially when people, the same thing when they post shit on Facebook. If you believe in Jesus Christ, comment and share. And it's like, no. If you want to burn in hell, keep scrolling. Okay. Well, I like warm weather, so all right. No. Don't try to threaten me with some silliness.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes me mad now. It's like, you're really trying to scare me with the wrath of God? God is not down here sending chain mail, okay? He's got better things to do. Or she. Or they. Whatever. I'm trying to think if there's like a really scary superstition.
I can't really recall. What about the bridge one? Explain that one to me.
The bridge.
Yeah, so
Oh,
some
like
people
You hold your breath?
Yeah, you hold your breath and they like tap the rear view mirror or something. Like
It's the same
I see
thing when
people
when you're passing a cemetery.
Oh, okay.
You hold your breath, you cross your fingers.
Now, what would happen to you if you didn't do that?
A spirit would take your soul.
Oh, is that what?
I think that's what, or the devil would take your soul, something like that. Yeah, I remember. So in Fort Wayne, where I grew up, I don't remember the name of the cemetery anymore. It was close to downtown, and it was almost impossible to do it. I remember really trying sometimes, but there's a red light right at the end of the cemetery. So if you're at the red light, you just can't hold your breath. My 10-year-old lungs couldn't do it. There's no way. You know, I tried, but shit. So maybe I'm soulless right now.
No, it's all good. Okay, so do you think that urban legends fall under this category? Just hearing stories like Bloody Mary and, you know...
Some of them, yeah.
Did you believe in those?
When I was a kid, yes.
Yeah.
My sister and I mean, we were stupid enough. White people. We were stupid enough to play it.
Yeah, you would be a bitch really like right away saying that stupid shit.
I feel like my sister, I think once we played it, and we played it during the day, but it was like we closed the blinds and we were in the bathroom. And she was like, "Oh my God, my face is changing." And I was like, "Well, we got to go." There's a story in a book, in Bruce Cavill's Book of Monsters, and it's called Bloody Mary. And it's such a fun story. It's about two stepsisters, and the younger one goes to visit her dad for the weekend, and they play Bloody Mary. And then the older one, turns to her and is like, "I'm Bloody Mary," and just to scare her, and she runs and screams. And they sleep in the basement at night. And in the middle of the night, the little one wakes up. She's like 10 or 11. And she hears like this scratching on her sleeping bag.
No.
Because in the story, Bloody Mary is said to have like fur on her arms and she has claws. That's what the older sister tells her. So, and then she like pushes her sister away, but she feels something hairy. And it's pitch black in the basement, so she can't see. And then all she hears is like, "It's me, Bloody Mary, dearie." And her voice is different. And she's like, "I'm gonna gobble you up." So she's chasing her through the basement, and she has to find the mirror. She has to find a mirror to get her to say her name into the mirror, and that's the only way she'll go away. And she does it. She like finds the mirror and she holds it up to her. She's like, "Just tell me who you are." She says, "Well, I'm Bloody Mary. Haven't you guessed?" She's like, "Okay, I did it." She's like, "And now I'm gonna eat you." She's like, "Fuck, it didn't work." So she runs up the stairs screaming, and her parents are like, "She's being stupid." It's like, "Fine, you can sleep up here tonight." And the other one doesn't come up. It's like you're just looking down into the dark basement. And at the end of the book, you know, it's like she's back to normal. But then she says, "See you next weekend, dearie." It was so scary.
Orville, Jesus.
There's another story from Book of Nightmares. This girl, she's a teenager, and she goes to visit these little twins. And it's in like this old Victorian house. You know, they have like 3-4 stories. And like all those towers. And the twins have this tradition. They're like, "Oh, at nighttime, we have to do this dance." So every night, it's like you do this little dance and you touch all the doorknobs down the hall and you kiss your fingers and you spin twice and kiss your fingers, something like that. And they're like, "You have to do it, come on." So she's like, "Okay." So she does it. You know, she does the whole routine with them. And so then she tucks them in. It's Halloween night. She's watching some scary movie and she hears this noise. So she goes into the kitchen and the door, she sees it's been broken into. And then this guy jumps out and he's wearing this gorilla mask and he's chasing her around. It's like, "Girly, girly," and he's trying to get her. She runs all the way upstairs and they run down that hallway and she runs into the twins' rooms and then she hears him scream and like just like something's happening to him. She opens the door and she doesn't see him anymore. The gorilla mask is there and then there's like blood, I think.
Yeah.
And she can't see anything, but she can see something like lapping up the blood.
Ew.
But it's invisible. So he didn't do the dance.
Oh. And this was a child's book.
Yes.
Nightmare.
I'm telling you, Bruce Cavill's book of whatever. They were such good stories.
Jesus. Traumatizing shit.
Mm-hmm.
I can't with that. Alrighty then. Well, I mean, we would be bad horror fans if we didn't bring up Mr. Jason Voorhees himself on Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
So most of the time, excuse me, most of the time people would watch, Jason on the day.
Oh yeah.
Cable TV is definitely
they were good
airing
for those
them.
marathons.
And good, yeah. We're not going to dive too much into it because I have a feeling we'll be talking about this franchise in the future.
Yeah.
But I mean, just to honorable mention him, I do enjoy the Jason movies. I think he is a real ruthless killer. Mm-hmm. What I found funny is that because Leatherface trademarked the chainsaw, it's funny that Jason never used one, because I think if he got one in his hands, like, it would just be over. I mean, the man is so creative anyway in his death. It's just freaking brilliant what he comes up with on how to kill people, and has no qualms about a woman. He'll punch a bitch in the face. He just does not care. But what do you think of the franchise? Do you like Friday the 13th?
It doesn't move me.
Okay. Did the title sort of give you any kind of like, ooh, I gotta go see Friday the 13th because it has the title of Friday the 13th,
No. I mean, yeah, and by the time I was a teenager, they were all out. Like, it was... I remember watching some when I was in middle school because they had them on TV around Halloween. Like, I would stay up late and just watch whatever was on TNT.
Yeah.
But TBS, whatever station it was. But yeah, by the time I was really into horror movies, like, Jason wasn't really... He wasn't what he was in the 80s. He just wasn't. And I mean, Freddy vs. Jason was a lot of fun. And that came out when I was in high school. And I loved that. But it's just a little too much for me as a series, because it is pretty much always the same, and that's what happens when you get into like 4, 5, 7. There's so many movies, and it's like, what can you do this time that's new? Yes,
well, they tried. Trust me, they did different locations.
They did. Well, you can kill people differently. You can bring in a telekinetic, but it's like...
they did a Jason versus Carrie like sort of thing, and
so many things. So I mean, I think it's one of those series that tried a lot of things. Like Nightmare, there was always Freddy. Texas Chainsaw, always Leatherface doing something weird and leathery. But Jason, there was a few times where they deviated and they tried to do something else. I haven't seen every single one all the way through, but I don't know. It's just not for me.
I didn't mind them. What bugged me is that I never figured out exactly if he was just the undead, because I didn't know what universe this series was. Was it a movie where dead people rise from the dead? Like, I just...
Clearly.
Well, so in part 6, Jason lives like that. Like, he literally rises from the grave. So, but even before that, that man was taking so many beats. And I may have said this in a different episode too. I was like, how the hell is he so damn strong?
Yeah.
And able to just pull off all of these death-defying like moves and stuff without being hurt. And I always wonder about that.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of nonsensical. All of these movies that involve a supposed flesh and blood killer, it doesn't make sense.
I mean,
for him or
Myers
Michael.
It's
like, how many times can you get shot and thrown out a window and not die? It doesn't make sense. Freddy, I'll give him some leeway. He can come back. He can. You still gotta like try to like woo me and make it make sense. But Jason, no, they never really made up their mind, and I think that is why I appreciated the remake, because they paid homage to the original, and they had a bunch of topless girls with fake breasts. Because it was like, that's what they did. Mm-hmm. So they made fun and had fun, and they still had some decent scares, and they tried to kind of put it in some sort of grounded, he's human, and this is why he's able to do all the things he can do. But even that one ended where it's like he's getting his head cut open, and still he lives. Stop it.
So, fun fact about Friday the 13th. So, when the studio tried to, make this a title to put on their brand, they came out with this movie, and for the first part, it was okay, but they wanted to continue using it for future movies.
Oh.
And then, so when they were working on getting the trademark or the rights to the title, there was talk about what the sequel was supposed to be. Turns out that the Jason franchise was not supposed to be Jason. Friday the 13th was sort of a label for just scary stories.
Yeah.
They wanted to come out with a movie every year and have a different full-length story that was different from the rest. So what we saw in Friday the 13th was an urban legend about a boy who died and drowned and somebody coming back and killing them all. We get this big revelation about who it is that's actually doing it, and that's it. Part 2 was not supposed to be anything like that, but the studio was like, nope, you are going to make a movie with Jason's son, or Pamela's son, Jason. This is why it is so weird to have this big horror icon come in the second movie, because there was never an intent. In fact, in the first one, when that fool pops out of the lake, that was supposed to be a joke, because this movie was made to kind of make you laugh as well as scare you. I mean, they said it. It was just like, we want to get you a scary movie, but also want to make you laugh on top of that. And so that was meant to be kind of funny as like a prank sort of way. Even though in the movie it wasn't a prank, it was supposed to make the audience laugh a little bit. Jason had nothing to do with these sequels. And we were supposed to get a different story, anthology style, every single year after that.
That's hilarious, because that's exactly what happened with Halloween.
Yeah.
And it's so
Halloween
crazy.
was supposed to do that. Yeah, but like, they just love this killer.
If they had done that, man, I feel like I would be so much more satisfied having different stories.
And that's the thing. So honestly, and this is so bad of me, I have not seen Halloween 3.
I have.
And I should, but people keep telling me it's a horrible movie, not because Michael Myers is in it, they just said it's horrible. But then I do hear people say that it's actually good for what it is.
I think that it's fine for what it is. It's not Michael Myers. And they throw like a little like nod
I
to
heard
him
Jamie
in there.
Lee even like cameoed in it. Oh, no. It was a voiceover. That's what it was. I read that it was a voiceover that she
might
had.
have been. And then, what's her name? Nancy Loomis.
Oh, okay.
Who played Annie. Yeah, she's in there, I think. But I thought it was fine. It's just that especially with that series, the second movie was about Michael. Mm-hmm. So that's what people expected. You had already labeled it, you'd branded it.
Yeah.
Michael Myers as synonymous with the name Halloween. But that's really disappointing for me.
People were like, this movie ain't shit. Where's Michael Myers? And it's like, it wasn't really supposed to be. And they gave it a shot. And that's the thing. People had now in Hollywood have stopped taking risks and doing shit like this, because that's what a filmmaker is supposed to do, is take risks. But people are used to the familiar, and you don't give them what you want. They'll go ape shit. And there's nothing wrong with familiar stuff. I enjoy the Halloween series, but at the same time, they didn't get better.
Well,
so it's like, kudos for them for trying to do something different in part 3.
I think, just for me personally, it would have been more fulfilling to have different stories, because, like I said, when you have these sequels, what can you do differently? We know that Michael and Jason are going to be killing people. And that's what people want to go see.
Yeah.
But I would have rather had something around Friday the 13th. I think that would have been very interesting. Something around Halloween. These things
it's such a vague title. It doesn't even necessarily have to take place on that day, but it's just such a welcoming to just any kind of weird story that could happen just based on stuff.
And I think having it on the day is cool, just because, especially because since so many people are afraid of the day, and playing on people's superstitions and fears. Man, they could have done some shit, but what do I know?
Yeah.
Obviously, I think the franchise has made lots of money. They've all made lots of money. That's why they've made so many sequels, because they know people are going to come and see them. And
I did try to make Friday the 13th a thing. If it ever came up, I would do my best to try and watch one, but I'm just like, whatever. I just can't do it. But I mean, it's cool that that franchise has made a name for itself attached to this holiday. It's really cool. There's memes everywhere about it, and I think it's awesome.
I appreciate a lot of the people behind these series. Like, I love Kane Hodder because, you know, he's very committed to that character, and he has a lot of love for the character. So I appreciate any sort of creative input like that. But it's just not for me.
You know, I had a thought a while back. I actually wanted to make a movie based on the superstition of a broken mirror. Like, have a full-length movie chronicle 7 years, and each year just getting worse and worse and worse. And then, of course, he would do his best to try and figure out if there was like a cure and figure out how to stop it. But yeah, you start off small, and then the shit just keeps growing and growing and growing to like some heavy bad luck. I thought about like doing a movie like that. I thought that would be cool, but just to explore the whole legend in general, you know?
That's why I didn't tell you my idea earlier, because I don't want nobody stealing it.
Oh no, this is recorded, copyright, bam, it's ours. Yeah, it's recorded. Go ahead.
I trust no bitch. Yeah, I think that, I mean, there's obviously a gold mine where people could do a lot of superstitions. They've tried, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Like, what is it? Tales from the Dark Side. There's a story about a black cat in there. Not my favorite. It's kind of weird.
Remind me how that one went.
Well, there was a family of like 3 old wealthy people, I think. I'm pretty sure like 3 siblings. And, you know, the cat kills them. It seems like accidents, like they die from accidents. But then they have this guy come in to kill the cat because there's only the brother's the only one left.
I totally remember this. Who was that guy who
I don't
came
remember
in?
His name.
Oh.
He was a big actor.
Yes,
in the 80s.
he was. I have to look this up.
He was in Scrooged.
He was
the ghost of Christmas Past.
Christmas Past, yeah. God. Yes,
I just
totally
remember that was
this
so
now.
gross when the cat came out of him.
Yes.
It didn't make. I mean, first it went in him, and then it came out of him, and it just,
So the cat was from hell, basically.
I guess so.
Yeah, I totally remember that. And then when it came out, it attacked that old woman. Yes, I totally remember.
didn't
She
even
was
attack,
You have
it was
this cat
just-
dead by the time I get back. She was such a snob too. I remember.
No, I think that was the old man.
Oh, it was an old man.
Yeah, the 2 ladies had died,
Oh, okay.
but he just had a heart attack. He was so scared.
I know. Oh God. Well, that vision of it, I remember. Oh, I remember that. But yeah, he couldn't get that. Oh, I totally remember that. I need to watch that movie again.
I have another story. Oh my god, I just remembered scary stories for sleepovers. There was this story about this boy, and he had I think a bully, and I think a teacher was giving him a hard time, and this cat started following around, a black cat, and the teacher ended up dead, and then the bully ended up like falling into a lion's den at the zoo or something,
Okay.
quote unquote falling.
Yeah.
Because they were like, it's like they both looked like they died in accidents, but they were like mauled. And the boy, like, he was freaking out. He was like, oh my god. He's like, the cat. And so when the cat came back, he's like, get away from me. He's like, you're doing horrible things. And that pissed the cat off. So then the cat like changes and it gets really big, but it's like a werecat.
Oh.
And it's breaking down the doors, and it kills his dad, and he goes down into the basement, and he's trapped in the basement. I don't know why he went in the basement. I can't remember now. But I remember there was a sketch in the book, and the cat, it was like a demonic looking cat. So it wasn't like that movie where it just scared people. It's like the cat got big and it killed people and mauled them because they hurt this little boy, but then he turned on the boy. So maybe black cats are something to be afraid
They
of.
might be.
Nah, I like them. I don't want a cat though. I'm allergic.
I just don't like them.
Why don't you like cats?
I'm good. I just can't.
Some cats are cool.
They're just too much.
Some of them are really nice. My aunt had a cat. She was really nice. She would like crawl inside my shirt and just hang out.
No, I don't know. It's not like I don't get along with them or anything. It's just not my preference. Not my preference. I'm a dog person if I had to choose one.
Yeah, I guess it's nice coming home and they're like, oh my God, I love you. Where have you been all day? I'm so happy. Whereas cats are like,
bitch, where's my food?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Some of them are happy to see you, though. Some of them.
I've seen it. There's moments, but overall,
just not giant black cats that want to kill you.
I'll be a cat's uncle. Done. No, I'm not having one of my own. Put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. It's another story.
Okay.
What was it? Scary stories to tell in the dark. There's a story about this farmer, and his livestock was being attacked and eaten in the middle of the night by a jaguar. And he finally, starts like setting up to hunt it at night. And the jaguar almost kills him, but he shoots it and shoots its foot off. And then shortly after that, a neighbor comes by and he's like, please help me. I need to get to the doctor. My wife's foot, it's been shot off.
Jesus.
There were some really good stories that I read when I was
Read those again.
They're so mature.
That's funny.
I don't think I have any other superstitions.
I know. I can't. I mean, we went through a lot of them.
We did.
Yeah. I think unless we wanted to look up some origins and give some people some history lessons, I think we covered a good bulk of fun ones out there.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Oh. I don't know. The only other thing I can think of is like religious. I'm not Catholic, but if I do go into the church, I will put my hand in holy water and I'll form the sign of the cross on my forehead.
Yeah.
I'll kneel if I go into the pew, but I don't usually go into churches because, I'll catch fire.
Well, I guess the lesson for today, if we have to give one, is that, believe what you will, but know that you are, the master of your own fate. Friday the 13th and its bad omen and bad luck. There could be something to it, yes or no, but again, don't let it control you, I would say. For any horror fan out there, sometimes it's fun to think about, and again, it brings a reason to watch the Jason movies again. But yeah, overall, it's more story than I don't know. For me, it's more story than true.
Yeah, it's all mental.
Yeah,
superstitions and phobias. I know that some of them are very hard to get through, and there might have been something traumatic that happened, like you watched the fucking Ewok adventure and saw giant spiders. So sometimes it's hard to let go of. But then there are phobias that are just really nonsensical, like homophobia. That shit ain't cute. You need to talk to somebody
one day,
because there's nothing to be afraid of.
One day. People can still catch it, apparently, because it's just spreading like wildfire. People are coming out everywhere.
Yeah.
So
all these hateful phobias, they're not cute. So it's all in your head. These things can't hurt you. It's fun to tell stories about them around the campfire and not homophobia. That's a lame ass camp story. But, and when they make compelling movies, stories, and those are fun, but can't really hurt you.
Yeah. So for our special Friday the 13th special,
for our superstitious,
for our superstitious super episode.
We're really gay right now.
I know. This bitch really of the week or of the day is brought to you by an old urban legend, and it involves two horny teenagers who don't have anywhere to go to make out. So they have to go to the deep woods by themselves where nobody's around and
Let's get it on.
anything can happen to them. So that's mistake number one. Then they go out and make out and they're enjoying each other, but for some reason somebody's got to fucking pee. And I don't get that.
Or investigate a strange noise.
Or investigate a strange noise. You have a car, you have a weapon on 4 wheels, and yet you have to get out and investigate it. Investigate it with some searchlights. Investigate it with your car. Don't get out. But this is what I have a problem with. Leaving, well, I mean, obviously in these stories, the man is always the one to get up and leave. Why are you leaving your woman by themselves in the woods where anything can happen? I'm talking animals, people, strangers, whatever the fuck. Why does this keep happening? And for some reason, it's like, oh, yeah, I've never seen your dick before, so I gotta go deep in the woods to go pee because I don't want you trying to look at my junk. I mean, maybe it's just not etiquette to pee in front of them, but at the same time, it's like, where do you gotta go to where you don't see the car from where you are standing, leaving this poor defenseless woman? Not to say you guys are all defenseless, but come on now. Y'all are in the woods anyway. There's no reason to be splitting up. Stay together. Horror rule number 468. Stay together. Don't split up if you're going to be in the woods. Come on now.
I would say this doesn't just apply to women, because it's not that women are defenseless.
No.
If you're alone in the woods by yourself and your significant other is stupid enough to go break up with them if they come back. But if they leave you alone, you're vulnerable. You're defenseless.
And then, I'm sorry, I gotta give a little shade to people who fall for that shit when they try and scare you to just get you all vulnerable so you'll get all hot and heavy. I can't
Get
with
me
that.
hot and heavy. That like
I can't with that. You scare me in the woods, you're being broken up. Like, I'm not fucking around with you.
you're not getting any.
No, that shit is just too much. We're already in the woods by ourselves. Like, find a place to do it or don't go. Like, wow. I mean, especially on a cliff. That man could have fell off. Like, you don't know. Stop splitting up.
Next thing you know, there's a hook in the door.
Ooh. Have you seen Campfire Tales?
Yeah.
Love that movie. And we're going to bring that up because I want to do an anthology episode. You know that's my shit. I love anthologies. So we got to do an episode, and I'm bringing that up. Folks, this is a warning. Watch Campfire Tales. It's one of the best anthology movies out there. It's a little old, but you'll see some stars in there, including our Cyclops, James Marsden.
Oh, that's right. He was in
the very beginning.
Oh, he was in the very beginning.
He was in the one with the hook.
Hilarious.
The one with the
I don't
hook,
remember what the boy looks like. I don't remember what either of them look like.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, it was James Marsden. Oh, that story was told so well. Anyways, we will definitely bring that up, but watch this movie. It's so good. And, enjoy your Friday the 13th. If you decided to lock yourself in the house for the day, hopefully we are as entertaining to keep you busy.
Yeah, you can catch up in the episodes that you haven't listened to.
That's right.
You got free time.
And be sure to listen next week on our normal episode. It's all about witches.
So, good luck out there. And don't spill any salt. We'll catch you next time on Bitch I Ain't Scared.